I 35F want to divorce my 46 meters husband after 16 years.
I, 35F, have been married to my 46M husband for 16 years. We have 4 children together, 4, 5, 13, 16. I work 40 hours a week, he does not work. He actually refuses to get a job, he has a hard time with authority and doesn't like being told what to do. This always causes conflict with management and he ends up quitting. He's worked a total of, at most, 4 years during our marriage. Yes, he had a job when we met. Due to his work ethic and income instability, I went to college because I was tired of being broke and relying on food stamps to feed my kids. We lived off my student loans while I went to school. I still owe $20,000 in student loans. In spite of me working 40 hours, we still struggle. We have one income for 6 people. My husband tells me I need to pick up overtime, but it just isn't available right now at my job.
He tells me to find a new job, but I'm happy where I am and switching jobs in this field is a nightmare. He refuses to get a job. He said that because of my job and education, I'm capable of making in one extra day what he would have to work all week for, but this is not fair or true. He also says that all his money would end up going to daycare for our 2 smaller children, since he wouldn't be at home to watch them. He said that because I work 13-plus-hour shifts, he would have to take the kids to daycare and pick them up. He said that he would be pulling all the weight while I do nothing. I leave the house at 6 a.m. and get home almost 9 p.m. on days I work. I work 3 days a week, that would only be 3 days of daycare. Obviously they wouldn't be in daycare if I'm not at work.
He also still makes the 4- and 5-year-olds use sippy cups, and only gives them chocolate milk. This was a huge fight today because he said I didn't do my job and wash the bottles last night. I stayed home sick from work. I had the flu yesterday. I said I'm throwing all of them away because they are not babies anymore. Anyways, I want a divorce. He refuses to take the kids to soccer practice if I'm at work. They do not go. He refuses to make doctor's appointments and it's also a huge fight to ask him to take the kids to doctor's appointments. He doesn't cook dinner, it's always fast food every night. He does pick up the house but he doesn't clean. I feel like I'm always cleaning on my days off. I'm scrubbing dirty handprints off the walls and cabinets, scrubbing the shower, cleaning countertops, vacuuming, wiping the leather couch down because he feeds the kids on it and it is always caked with food, etc., etc.
Here's my dilemma. 4 years ago his dad helped us buy our house with the intention of building a garage apartment on the property for himself. However, he passed away from cancer before that could happen. My husband and I took care of him in our home while he was on hospice. My Phil and his dad put the house in their names and bought it out of a joint banking account they have. They also bought another small house for my brother-in-law who has Asperger's autism. He works, drives, pays his car insurance and internet. That house is in my husband's name and we pay the property taxes and electric bill. His dad secured this arrangement when he was dying, so Bill would always be taken care of and have a safe place to live. Both houses are paid off. I put new appliances in our house and a new AC unit. I spent thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours landscaping my yard and garden. I pay 100% of every bill. I pay the property taxes. I pay everything and my husband pays nothing. Our teenager needed braces. I took a loan for the $6,000 and I pay monthly on that. Our toddler got injured in an accident and I owe $4,000 on my personal credit for that hospital bill. My teenager had an appointment to get her braces adjusted. I had to work and asked him to take her. He said he wouldn't because he had an appointment to renew his medical marijuana card. So, he can make an appointment for that but not for our children? And why does that appointment take priority over our child's appointment? I asked him to reschedule his, and he screamed at me and called me selfish. He's extremely verbally aggressive. Several times he's been physically aggressive, but he was drunk. He threw a fork at me and it stuck under my ear next to my eye. And one time he hit me with a 3 inches PVC pipe and splintered my shin. Another time he was pushing me with a floor fan and I shoved it back at him and his lip got cut. He's never quit talking about that in 10 years. He used to be an alcoholic. And when I graduated college I said I was leaving. He quit drinking and I thought that he would change. Surprise. He didn't. Instead I got pregnant with our third child. Now he's drinking again on occasion. I know this will progress. I'm so overwhelmed with bills and finances. And he won't help. I want a divorce. Every day he's yelling and screaming at everyone. He calls me a BTCH in front of the children. I'm done. We live where we do because he wanted to be close to his parents. They have both passed away. I have no family here. And I can't have any friends because he tries to force himself on any female I bring around. Or he will make them extremely uncomfortable. My family is 16 hours away. He said that the house is his because it's only in his name. That the children and I will have nowhere to live. He said that I can't take the children out of state because it's against the law and he will fight me on it. He said that he won't watch the kids or ever take them if we get divorced because he will have to work 50+ hours a week just to keep alive. What can I do? What are my options? I do not want to leave my home. I love my house. My children each all have their own rooms. I've made this place a home. I even painted murals in the kids' rooms. I do not want to leave my home. But technically, since it was his father that bought it for our family, I'm not entitled to it. I would at least like back what I've spent on this house. The money I have invested. It would be enough for a down payment on a mortgage. Maybe I can buy another house after the divorce?
However, the state we live in is extremely expensive, and I could buy a nice house closer to my family for the same money a single wide mobile home costs in our current state. Also, he said he wants alimony. If I divorce him, he will get it too because he's refused to work all these years. I may not even be able to afford an apartment after all this. I don't know what to do.
He's broken your bones and almost took out your eye with a fork. Speak to a divorce attorney about your financial concerns and equity in the home, but either way, you've got to leave him. Your husband is an asshole. Get a lawyer and divorce him. You were 19 and he was 30. It makes sense why he is showing this selfish and disgusting behavior. Do not leave that house. Get a lawyer ASAP and tell them everything you've written here. You are being abused and he's neglecting your children. A 30-year-old married you when you were 19. Don't know how young you were when you started dating, but you were definitely groomed. I'm sorry you're going through all of this. But an attorney will be able to advise you how to proceed to protect yourself, your children and your assets. Also, don't listen to his BS about what will happen during a divorce. He's trying to scare you into staying. You need a lawyer ASAP. It's likely you will have legal and financial interest in the house. More critically, you are not safe. You are being treated like a workhorse. You are right to want a divorce. The sooner the better. Sending you good wishes. Edited for spelling. Talk to an attorney. This is way above Reddit pay grade. If you're in the US and the home was purchased while you were married, it's considered marital property even if your name isn't on it. Book a consult with an attorney and see what they say. Usually the initial consult is free. They can tell what to do and not to do as you make your exit plan. He does not work. He actually refuses to get a job. He has a hard time with authority and doesn't like being told what to do. What in the F-King world kind of attitude is that? And he has kids. Let me know if you need a good divorce lawyer. Lol JK. But yeah, do it. It's way past time you leave him. You're going to have an amazing life once he is out of your life and not married to you. P.S. You can file for divorce, but you don't have to move out. Let the courts decide that. Stop taking legal advice about marital property and alimony from your loser husband. Hire a divorce lawyer and tell them what you've told us. You've done a real disservice to your kids staying with that useless asshole for so long. Don't keep compounding your mistake. He will pull out all the stops to keep you trapped, including pregnancy. So be careful. So you were 19 and he was 30 when he married you and been a leech ever since? Yikes. I read the first sentence and that's enough. Divorce, he will not change. He cannot get alimony. He didn't quit a job to be a stay-at-home parent. Plus, most places don't even have alimony. Courts don't give alimony to lazy people who could work. Talk to a lawyer pro bono. You might be able to talk to a women organization in your area for advice. They might give you advice and resources because of the verbal abuse. Some can give you lawyer recommendations or even have some free legal advice available. That house is in my husband's name and we pay the property taxes and electric bill. It doesn't matter who paid for the house and whose name it is on. He got it while you were married and you have been paying taxes. Which means you have a stake in the house. It is your marital residence and it is marital property. I wouldn't be shocked if you owned 50% by marriage. I hope you are not paying BIL's property tax bill. If your husband owns that property too, then you own it as well. Oh my God. He is the absolute worst person that I have read about on Reddit. He deserves the Biggest Loser award. I cannot believe the hell you have gone through for 16 damn years. Do not give him 1 second more. Is there any legal aid in your area? Does your place of employment offer any resources? Never take legal advice from your opponent. Everything he's telling you is BS. You likely have a claim to a significant percentage of the house's value. To you, yes. Leave and get an attorney. To 19-year-olds reading this, don't date a 30-year-old. Please read Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft. You are in an abusive relationship. Start planning. I thought at first you were saying he is a stay-at-home dad. And I have to flip the genders to make sure I'm not being biased. But no, you're saying he just drives them to daycare. WTF. Edit. I just got to the part with the abuse. Geez, oh Pete's. Yes, please get out of there. If you don't have a prenuptial, everything is gonna get split. House, credit card debt, everything. Last note, if he gives up custody, I think that means you can leave the state. You are married to a giant man-child. I don't understand how you went this long. Age gap, we meet again. 30-year-old marrying a 19-year-old. GTFO.
Run.
I hope you take a moment to reread everything you wrote. Do you see how absolutely horrible this man is? Do you see how much you're being taken advantage of? Don't let your children grow up thinking this is an acceptable role model. Get a lawyer. Tell him everything. And let him handle the legalities. And also, please be careful. He is not going to react well to finding out he needs a job now to pay for his 4 children's child support. Do you want your children learning this behavior is acceptable for their future relationships? This man is not your problem. You are not going to get any money back from this relationship. The time and money you spent are gone and people like this never change. Talk to a divorce lawyer and let them help you figure out exactly what's what. Don't let him further control you by telling you how things will be. Call a divorce lawyer, get them papers drawn up, and divorce this man.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Heracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.